We're at Harleyford for the first event of the season, and I've found a very special way to arrive in style. This is my tour guide Ash, and we're off to see the local area. So we're coming into Milo now, the Milo Suspension Bridge, designed by William Tierney Clark in the 1830s. It was a tryout, believe it or not, like a Meccano set, for a larger bridge across the River Danube. This bridge is also quite infamous for a guy called Bill Marshall, and he is said to have flown a Spitfire under this bridge here to impress his girlfriend, who was in the hotel to our right. History does not record whether she married him as a result. So we're just going down to Hambledon now. We've come through Milo. We're going to run to Hambledon. That'll be a little bit quicker. And I'll tell you a bit more about Hambledon when we get there. So just as we make our turn here, you'll see signs for a winery. We actually make very good wine here in Bucks. The soils are exactly the same as you'd find in Reims around Champagne in France. Yeah. Apparently it all dips down under the English Channel and pops back up here. So we make a lot of English sparkling wine. We also make a lot of beer. We have a lot of great brewers. They brew everything from blonde beer right down to the darkest stuff, and you expect to have a twig in it. It doesn't. To your right, you'll now start to see Hambledon Village. This was the home of, where he grew up, of Lord Cardigan, him of the charge of the Light Brigade. It's also a very important filming location. It was used in 101 Dalmatians, and it was also used in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's also the place where they filmed Dance with a Stranger.
See why it's used for a filming location.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
So picturesque and quaint.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is move up towards Turville, which you'll recognise from an awful lot of movies. Midsummer Murders, they've had the Straw Woman, it was in the Avengers, it's been in New Tricks, it's been in all sorts of stuff. And it's also more recently famous for being Geraldine Granger's parish in The Vicar of Dibley.
My girlfriend's parents think I'm a lot older than I am because I grew up watching Dad's Army and all of the classic Last of the Summer Wine.
Yep.
So I've got a really good knowledge of sort of British sitcoms between like the 70s or 60s and the 90s. It will amuse them greatly that I've been to where one of them was filmed.
This is just typical Chilterns countryside now with the sunken lane, and we're working our way towards the top of the Hambledon Valley. Well, what an entrance. It's time for the first PGA EuroPro Tour event of the season here at Harleyford.
One shot at a time, play the best you can. Keep improving, keep striving to be better.
Don't come here to make up the numbers. Hopefully I'll bag a couple.
It's going to be back fine.
Time to deliver. It's time to deliver. No holding back now. Feeling the chances come. Time to deliver. It's time to deliver. It's time to
Here we are at Harleyford for the season opener on the PGA EuroPro Tour. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally back and the players are able to play some great golf. We're on a golf course like this, which is a par 72, just under 7,000 yards. So the boys got a good chance of maybe overpowering it, but it does have a trick up its sleeve. It's little soft dog legs, it's really tight, it's got old loads of woodlands around it, especially on a hole like this, which is 15, which has this beautiful folly by the side of the tee box. Really tight as you'd like, little soft dog leg, like I said. Course is in immaculate condition, and we're going to see some great golf this year. I know it, but I can't help it. Get off the season off to a bang. I'm going to hit one out of this folly. Tee it up, let it fly, baby, let it fly. Oh, let it fly.
John Morgan there, literally a little on the inside. As for the EuroPro Tour, well, we're back with a bang. None more so than Gianmarco Petrosi, who fired 8 consecutive birdies in his course record second round, 61.
I've played well the time before when I played this event in 2019, and I've been playing well recently, so it's just really good to come off such a long break and see the scores reflecting the way I'm playing, so yeah, really happy.
You had 8 birdies on the bounce on the front 9. What's going through your mind when you're in a run like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I was actually thinking about 2019 with the 9 birdies bonus, and sort of wishing I'd done it back there. But yeah, no, just trying to keep playing. It's quite difficult when you've been on a run like that, and you've still got quite a few holes to go. But yeah, no, it's just keep on hitting good shots, and luckily today I managed to do that.
Yet, despite the scintillating scoring of the man representing Trentham Golf Club in Stoke, Petrosi doesn't lead. Instead, after rounds of 67, then 63, the 36-hole pace setter is Nick Poppleton. The final 3-ball consists of Poppleton, Jamie Dick and Ashton Turner. As for Kit, he's down on the range.
It's a really vital part of your preparation, this the final 45 minutes, not just for finding what your game's doing, but getting in the right headspace as well, so you can go out there and play your best golf. Ashton, if I can just jump in and ask you a couple of questions. In the final group today, how are you feeling ahead of this final round?
Yeah, feeling good. Just feeling good to be in contention, really. First event in the season. So yeah, just going to take it as it comes and see what happens. As you say, first event, how important is it to get off to a good start this year? Yeah, definitely. It was nice to kick on straight away. Obviously, it's what everyone wants to do. It's the first time I've been out in a year and a half. But kind of played some good golf out there. I'm just going to trust the process and see what happens. Brilliant stuff. Have a good one today. Thank you. Just alongside him, we've got our leader, Nick Poppleton. 1-shot lead. Target on the back, Nick. You're the man in front. Is that a position you like to be in going into the final round?
Well, it's been that long. I've had the experience of it at Filford, so hopefully I can draw some good memories from, draw a bit of help from that. It wasn't really great memory, but yeah, it just is what it is, and you just go out and try and play and try and shoot a good number and try and hit some good golf shots, really, Kit.
What are you focusing on to make sure you play your best golf today?
Nothing. Just go out and play with what you've got, haven't you, at the end of the day, and you don't know until the gun goes off, do you? You've got the gun to your head, you've got to see how you perform and see what goes on. But it would be just nice to actually, it's been great to have a score in your hand stood on the first tee rather than being sort of everyone's on a level playing field. It's sort of strange at that second round to actually stand on the tee and think, oh, I'm 5 under, and they're sort of a couple under each. So you just develop as you go through the season and stick to your process and try and get better, really.
Great stuff. Have a good one today.
Yeah, take it easy, pal.
And just finally, down here at the other end, we've got Jamie Dick. Do you have a number in mind you want to get to, or do you like to freewheel and see how it goes?
Yeah, not really. I'm probably not going to look at any leaderboards today. So just try and birdie every hole, because that's what everybody else is doing. So I've got to try and do the same thing. But yeah, try and keep a few of the bogeys off my card and see what I can do.
Brilliant stuff. Have a good one, Jamie.
Thank you.
So there we go. That's our final 3-ball, putting the finishing touches on their preparation. Let's get out to the action and see how they fare.
Thanks, Kit. Well, Nick Poppleton did lead going into the closing round, but that advantage was short-lived following his slow start, specifically a bogey on the 3rd. He's now one off the pace, being set by 4 golfers: Petrosi, Dick, John Parry, 9 under for the day playing the 18th, and first-round leader Turner about to tackle the 4th. With me today is Gary Alice. By the way, I think we must say at this point that the cut was 5 under par. The standard overall, Gary, has been something else.
Yes, Phil, thank you. It's quite remarkable. Golf course is obviously in lovely condition. Not had much action over this last year, so the ground staff, under difficult circumstances, have done a lovely job as we see Turner there finding the centre of the fairway.
Now can Parry finish off with a birdie and complete what would be another remarkable round?
Very experienced John Parry, but this has been a tremendous 3rd round, a real charge coming through the field. And As you can see, just maybe a quarter of a club short there. Still in good shape.
On the 5th, Petrozzi, 576 yards this hole, the lengthiest on the course, but still a birdie opportunity.
Almost doesn't seem to matter how long they make holes. You know, you can make them 600 yards, make them par sixes, and they're still having a putt for a 3.
That said, not too many birdies on 18, which is a stern test, as we'll see later on.
Yeah, it is. And this is a nicely running putt. Probably just a bit short of legs. Yeah. But it was a good line.
Here's Kit on the 4th.
Dick has got a really gnarly lie over here in the long rough down the left of the 4th. He's 85 yards from the pin and it's a little bit downhill, so he can land it short and chase it up on. But that brings the risk of playing all the way over this thick stuff, potentially leaving it in there, then he's got the same problems again. The safer option, coming out a little bit right, just short of the green, and trusting his short game to save his par.
But Gary, on this 379-yarder, Ashton Turner is in the mayor's office.
Certainly is. Looking straight down at it, swinging beautifully. And another one, they really are firing them right in this week. Every shot leads to a birdie opportunity. So here we are. Jamie Dick looks like he's taking Kit's option of slightly down the right. He's got good contact. Strong hands to hold the club face square. Very good result from that lie. Mind you, modern wedges they are. Great help in situations like that. Good shot from Dick.
Now come on, John, do not mess up at the last. What a good day's work that is. Not a bogey in sight. The Eagle 2 on 14, the highlight, and he sets the clubhouse mark at 14 under.
So back on the 4th, Poppleton, edge of the fairway, his second shot. Just a little lazy flick in there. Switch. And again, cracking shot. As you can see, right over the top of the flag. Birdie opportunity again.
And that word birdie is oft repeated here. Petrozzi made 17 of them in the first 2 rounds. But with that severely curling putt on 5, it was never going to be an addition to his list.
So after the very good recovery, Jamie Dick now just nudging it down the right hand side. Always frustrating when it in the jaws and just short, but from where the tee-shirt was, I think you can just move on quietly.
Now can Nick Poppleton get back onto level terms for the day? Very early in its journey, he knew that was going to be low.
Yes, there's some tricky pin pacings for this last round, Phil. Let's see what Petrozzi can do. This one doesn't really want to be outside the hole. It's just after that big swing, you expect a little bit more, and it didn't come for him. So back to 13 under there.
Turner's played the hole delightfully and deserved a birdie. The man who shot 68 in the final round of the Open Championship at Royal Portrush a couple of summers ago. Well done to Nebworth's Jamie Rutherford, round in 64 and currently tied 4th, having made the cut on the mark. Up top though, Turner leads by 1 from Jamie Dick and a former European Tour champion who's spectacularly set the clubhouse target, John Parry. He sat down with Kit.
John, it's been quite an interesting last 18 months. How's that affected you from a professional standpoint?
Weird, but I've liked it and not liked it. Obviously, I was in form going in 2019, so I was looking forward to it, but it's gave me plenty of time to sort of work on my game and try and iron out things I wasn't happy with.
As you say, you were on good form the year before. Here on the EuroPro Tour, you had a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth and a sixth in 2019. What was just missing to get you that win?
I think I always started quite slow the first round, well, most of the time, so I always felt like because obviously the lads are shooting low scores, and you always feel like you're playing catch up, and I was just shooting sort of 4 under, 4 under, 4 under. But I think the two parts of my game I want to improve were probably my driving and my putting. I didn't feel like I drove it okay, but I wasn't comfortable in 2019. Then puttings, I think if you're going to win events, that's what you've got to do well.
Were you able to improve those through lockdown?
Driver, so far. Putting the first 2 days, not so much, but obviously that's hopefully comes.
Even though the win wasn't there, the consistency was incredible. In professional golf, is it that almost as important?
Yeah, because I always think I've been quite inconsistent as a golfer. I've always seemed to win, and then like have a half the year I'll miss some cuts, and then took 2 or 3 really good events. But I've always been really good at winning. So it was quite a nice change to be up there a lot, but still disappointing not to get over and get the win.
Going back to your time on the European Tour, you won in your rookie season in 2010. How do you reflect on those earlier days as a pro?
I don't think about them too much. I sort of use them as, even when I'm in these tournaments, what I've learned, how to win or how to sort of stay composed in situations where you might feel a bit of pressure. I think that's how even like making the cut, it's sometimes because it's almost harder doing that because you're not playing well. And it's trying to stay composed and stick to your sort of game plan and what shot you're trying to hit. I think that's what I've probably learned from it.
What do you think it's going to take? How close are you?
I think I'm playing better than I was when I won on the European Tour. Well, I think it's that long ago. I think it is, but I feel like I'm more consistent. It's just, I think it's what I've learned is just keep doing as long as you're doing the right things. It's being consistent at doing it. I'm not sort of drifting off and trying to something else or something new, and then you end up getting lost. It's just, you look at the best players, they just keep doing the same thing over and get consistent at doing that.
What does the fact that you think you're playing better now say about the standard of golf and how it's changed?
How long ago did I play? Probably 12, 13 years ago. I started on here. It's definitely gone up. Like the scores, a lot of people are shooting 4 or 5 under. It's like a standard. You shoot 4 or 5 under. It's like you're not really going anywhere. You sort of feel like you're just shooting par. So the strength and depth has got more and more with the younger players.
And how excited are you for the year ahead after?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I know we play this week and then have a week off, which would probably be nice just to iron out certain things. But then I can't wait for it just to be week after week after week and really get going.
And how big an achievement would it be if you were to get back on the European Tour? Would it almost be bigger than the first time?
I think it's because it's been a while and it's been a bit of a long journey. The last few years, especially with like lockdown as well. I think it wouldn't be far off. Yeah, I think it'd probably be better than winning, because the winning is like young and you just get on with it and it's like, oh yeah, this is easy. I think how hard it is to get there and stay there, so I think that would be a bigger achievement.
Experience and ability, that's a tough combination to overcome, but Parry's race at Harleyford is now run.
One of the unique things about Harleyford are these fantastic Driftwood Sculptures. The first one was installed in July 2016. There are now 31 of them depicting all kinds of animals dotted around the property. James, thanks for joining us all the way from the Philippines. The sculptures you've got here at Harleyford are absolutely spectacular. Tell us how you got into this form of art.
Well, I've always been making stuff, and I arrived over in the Philippines quite some years ago in my early 20s, and I've always been collecting old wood. So I started off making papier-mâché animals and kind of tin animals and little mobiles for kids, and things pretty quickly got a bit bigger. And about 20 years ago, I made my first driftwood horse, It didn't look much like a horse. I mean, everyone said it was the most fantastic thing they ever saw. And to be honest, when I revisited it, all I wanted to do was burn it. But yeah, so that was 20 years ago, and I've never looked back since. It's an absolute calling.
How do you decide what animal or creature you're going to make next? Do you kind of think of an animal and then find the driftwood to suit it? Or do you look at the driftwood and think, oh, that reminds me of a certain part of an animal or something like that?
That's a great question. Well, initially, I used to be driven by the piece of driftwood. I'd pick up the giraffe head and say, wow, okay, I'm halfway there. But now it's very much I choose what I want to make. And, you know, you develop an eye. You know, when I remember when I first set out, I used to spend most of my time on the driftwood pile trying to find, well, an eye, you know, trying to find the eye or the nostril or whatever. And, you know, you just pick up a piece of wood saying, that's the one. And you used to work it back. And eventually, after 2 hours, you confront the raw truth, which it was never the one. You go back out to the wood pile and look again. You develop an ability to recognize that quickly. And so you're able to really pick up the wood you need to make the animal you've chosen to make.
And how have so many of your sculptures ended up here at Harleyford?
Well, I love Harleyford, and I've been working with Rob and Alex since we first met, 5 years ago at the Chelsea Flower Show. And it allows me to make, especially, you know, monumental pieces just on a whim. And if they don't find a home, then I just love littering the golf course with the sculptures. And the members as well, they like it, which is just great. So it's really a fantastic relationship. And, you know, I always have golfers pass by and start chatting and say, oh, I really love the sculptures. And I love the latest one. I love those grizzly bears on the gazebo. They're fantastic. So, yeah, I always get wonderful comments. And, yeah, no, it's really positive.
Brilliant. They really are fantastic, and it's great to see them around the course here. So thank you for your time and your artistic efforts.
Thank you very much. And next year, for the next year's EuroPro, I'll hopefully the infants of Poseidon will be there, which are these huge horses which are dripping water from their hooves and their tails. So hopefully that'll be there next year.
The leading question now, who will carve out a victory at Harleyford? Currently in front, Ashton Turner, and Kit is down on the fifth, weighing up the pace setter's second shot prospects.
First par 5 of the day, and Ashton Turner has got himself into position A down the middle of the fairway, and it's long as well. Just 235 yards to the pin down there. He's off an upslope, that will launch it high, and it's playing slightly downhill as well. That pin is tucked in the front left, so a difficult one to get to, but a fantastic chance for birdie.
Indeed it is. Just an iron needed. We've already seen the defence of this hole. It's primarily that awkward green. Leaning. And that's the reason why. Now, Tournament Director Ash Weller gives us his verdict on hole number 6.
Sixth hole here at Harleyford, the second of the par 3s, playing 182 yards today. Slightly uphill to the green, maybe needing to add half a club. And the flag is on the back left shelf for the final rounds, so only 5 yards from the left. An accurate club section required to miss those pot bunkers at the front.
Yes, there's very little green there on the left on this hole. So here we go. Petrozzi. Lovely looking swing, nice balance. Launches the ball high as he carried those pot bunkers. Yep. Pin high, good shot.
Now the way the scoring's been here, if you're level par, you're going backwards. Nick Poppleton 1 over for the round, looking to rapidly make amends. Oh, and a very, very friendly bounce. Go on. Tap in birdie.
So, our first look at James Fraser. Steady player, been on tour a long time, experienced golfer, Welsh golfer. rolling in very nicely, as you can see. Never gives a lot of emotion, does James?
Now, Jamie Dick birdied the first. Since then, a run of pars. But he's struggling to save par here on 5. Needs an up and down. Bogeys, Gary, are never nice, but on par 5s they are particularly unpalatable.
Yeah, you really do feel as though you've given away 2, don't you, Phil, on there? So, Turner, from where we saw it, very delicate. Probably as good as he could do, because when he saw that over there, knowing where the pin was, it was never going to be easy to stop the ball. So here we go, we can see where Petrosi's is aiming. Expecting quite a lot of break on this. Aimed a good 3 feet right, but here it's tracking. Whoa, yes, look at that. We can see why he's up there. Phil?
It's this part of the course he made 8 consecutive birdies from 4 to 11 yesterday.
Turner. Yeah. These greens are very good, though, you know, and the players are great. I think actually one of the things that's changed as well over the last 30, 40 years is the balance in putters. The greens are great, but putters are so much... they swing. They almost seem to swing themselves, if that doesn't sound completely ridiculous.
And although Jamie Dick will be disappointed with only a par on 5, there'll also be a sense of relief not to drop one there. Poppleton climbs back into a 4-man share of second spot, but there's daylight at the top. Turner leads by 2 as he and the final group take on the 7th at 465 yards, the lengthiest par 4 on the front 9 here at Harleyford.
Ooh. As you can see, it's looking at a bare bit of ground. And it was never going to be easy to keep that under there. He probably just flicked the bottom. He was hoping to just drive it and keep it below that last branch and maybe get it a bit further down. But it's back in play.
Just from the light rough, Petrosi.
Bit of a weird misjudgment there. So, now, Jack Ayres. This is eagle putt. Be a bit disappointed from not far away. You'd have wanted to give that a bit more of a chance.
In the second round, Gary shot 63 with a bogey on the last, attached to Fox Hills.
Cracking tee shot from Dick, and he's got 170 yards left in, but that number is almost irrelevant because this is all about his shot making ability. It plays so far downhill and it's off a downslope, which is going to deal off the club and make it come out lower and travel further. There's a touch of breeze up there as well. He's got to factor all of that in to pull the right club, knowing that anything long is in position Z.
So Kit gave us chapter and verse. Very good description of this shot. Now let's see what Jamie Dick can do. Almost tell from the action there, he was just trying to slide the club across the ball just to hold it from going too long, and he's done it beautifully. Great bit of shot making.
Now here is the man known as Pops to family and friends. He's actually got an alternative job. In between tournaments, he drives a delivery van. I think he's at work early tomorrow morning. But the early rising would be made much easier with a winner's check here, Gary.
Certainly would, but a great many of these players and everybody in golf, sadly, over the last 18 months has been forced to find some alternative ways of earning a shilling. Turner. Again, just easing the ball in, trying not to get it up too high, and that's beautifully played. That's a great shot. Almost just a little tap in for Ashton Turner there, our leader.
Now here is an effervescent character. Joe Brooks. 9th hole, 476 yards by modern standards. Quite a short par 5. One that you want to birdie, and Joe definitely will.
Petrozzi trailing by 2. And after that slight misjudgment of distance, oh dear, I don't know what it hit there. Neither did he. No. Can't believe that, Phil. Looked as though it was a brand new pitch mark wouldn't have made the ball jump as much as that did.
Now Poppleton. That's a really good move. And that's a really good result. You know, last year on the Pro Tour, he had 3 wins. There was a £20,000 bonus if you made 100 birdies over the season, and he made 99.
Yeah, so near so far. Yeah, Petrozzi there after that very unfortunate bounce. And back to 13 under.
Right to left over the slope, and well, it's all very well being aggressive, but now he wishes he'd cozied it up.
Yes, back up the slope, 3 feet. Whew. Sigh of relief. Turner, this little one, to save his par, having been under the tree with his tee shot. Yeah, that's a nice save, having been in danger earlier.
This is brewing up really nicely. They're ganging up behind, plenty of them in striking distance, but Ashton Turner remains in pole position from the upwardly mobile Nick Poppleton, a youngster from South Yorkshire with a fine amateur pedigree who's finding Harleyford very much to his liking.
We know that it's glamour, 5-star hotels and living the life of luxury that you dream of on the European Tour and the PGA Tour. But on the EuroPro Tour, these guys are chasing their dreams, and every bit of money you can save on the way to doing that is vital. Will Harold, he's got his camper van, he loves the lifestyle, and he's invited us in to have a look. Will, thank you for letting us come in here. First of all, tell us a bit about what we've got in the camper van and why you're choosing to do it this way this year.
What have we got? Well, I've got cooking facilities, I've got a fridge, I've got an oven, which I don't think I'll probably use. But yeah, most of it's one-pot meals. I've got a shower and a toilet and, you know, washing facilities, and it's all run on gas. And when I'm totally off-grid, like this week in the car park, you've got solar panels on the roof, so that keeps the battery topped up. But you don't use a lot, which you shortly find out. If you live in a camper van, you don't need much. But yeah, that's it, and I'll try and do most of the tournaments this year in it.
Fantastic. After all the frustrations of 2020, how much are you looking forward to getting around the country and competing this season?
Yeah, I was nervous this week. I was like, felt like I haven't played a 3-round tournament with a cup for a long time. So this will be the first trip of the year on the EuroPro, and there's a lot of places I haven't been to. So it'll be good to take the camper van with me, as many as I can do. There's a few of them where I'll have to get a ferry potentially, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. I might just fly and hotel those ones, but we'll see. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some of my own country for a change.
Absolutely. I think you can have a lot of fun getting around the country in this, and hopefully some good results on the course as well. Yeah. Let's head back out to the commentary team and catch up on the action.
Harold probably won't be crowned King of Harleyford, but he's on the road to a top 10 finish. In the driver's seat at the IFX Payments Championship, it's Ashton Turner, 3 under for the round, 16 under in total, and even so, only 1 to the good.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure, but again, middle of the fairway. Second shot here. Beautifully judged, I must say. This week he's had wonderful judgment on those sort of short three-quarter pitching shots.
Petrozzi here looking for a hat-trick of birdies on 9. Picked up a shot on this hole in each of the first 2 rounds. Doing a Sergio. And about the same result.
Certainly was. Great shot. Now there we see Harry Goddard on the 10th, flashing one from under the hill. Yeah, it's a very good shot. Finds the green on this par 5.
Our first view today of Reese Samson, representing Bondhay Golf and Country Club. Best performance so far on the EuroPro Tour from limited starts. Tied 24th at Caversham Heath in 2019, so that is under serious threat.
Nick Poppleton. This is birdie putt. Just had a couple today that have just been under pace. I guess the nerves, you know, there, the pressure of it, all plays its part.
Just from the fringe, this for eagle.
Nice putt. Yeah, usually.
It was a nice putt, well judged. Should be a birdie for the man who won the Midland Youth Championship in 2016.
And here we go with another eagle putt. Harry Goddard runs it up, just a little bit of a saddle to go up and over there. Yeah. Again, should have a chance of tapping in as we jump across to Petrozzi's eagle putt. Chances all around. Go on, get running. Never online, but a very, very simple birdie tap in, which will take him to 14 under in just a second.
Yeah, that's currently in a tie for 3rd place with the completed John Parry and Jamie Dick. Ashton Turner, though, he is going great guns. Undisputed leader. You know, back in 2019, Todd Clements won the EuroPro Tour season opener at 16 under. Right now, Turner's going even lower than that. And his next test is the 9th, where he's already made an eagle and a birdie in the opening 2 rounds. It's Turner by 2 from Poppleton.
Here he is. Lovely view there, looking back at the tee. This is a good looking swing as well. Lovely balance. Whoosh. I don't think he's held back on that one, Phil, but is it turning a bit left? Hold on. Yeah.
Ashton, 4 under par through 8 holes. How do you feel about that start to your round?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen on the day. Haven't hit it the best so far, but I've kind of scrambled well, and then when I've had the chances, I've taken them. Obviously, a long way to go, but I'm happy with the start. Yeah.
Just tell us a bit about how the course is playing today.
It's playing really. It's just lovely, isn't it? It's started to dry out a little bit, but the greens are still soft and receptive, which is perfect. I mean, a bit more added distance down the fairways, less club into the greens, and you can still take aim like the first 2 days.
And how does it feel to be back out here competing again?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, one-day events are really good. They've been good to keep sharp, but it's not a 3-round event at the end of the day, and to be out here in kind of these tournament situations again, and I'm fortunate enough to be in contention, it's just a great feeling.
Great stuff. Enjoy that banana.
Cheers,
and
thank
keep playing well.
Cheers.
So the second shot from the edge of the fairway. I'd say a nice calm demeanour there from Ashton Turner. How's he done with this one? Oh, I need say no more.
I think it's called In the Groove, mentally and swing-wise also. Now, we saw Petrozzi complete that hat-trick of birdies at 9. He's looking to do exactly the same here on 10. And there's no reason from there why it won't be 3 4s on the first hole on the back 9.
Well, Poppleton doesn't look as though he's got a lot of space to sneak it past the edge of those branches. Ooh, that's gone in a horrible place, but that actually was difficult because he had to keep it down from the first branches. Then it hit a dry, hard spot where that trolley is, and it was gone.
So momentarily at least, this to get within 1. Arguably his worst putt of the round so far. Tell you what though, Gary, Nick Poppleton would trade where Petrozzi's on 10 for where he is on 9.
Yeah, he certainly would. I think that was a pretty good shot from there because it was looked as though it'd gone in a horrible spot, but jabbed out nicely. As we come to Samson, this 8-footer. And 8-foot negotiated very well. That's a nice putt.
Now back to the man of the moment, Turner for eagle on the 9th. Can you believe it? That was to be out in 30 blows. Still though, where he was starting the round, 31, does the job very well, Gary.
Yeah, it certainly does, particularly when he said that, you know, he perhaps wasn't 100% on his swing. As we have a look at Petrozzi, this one from 2.5 feet. Yeah, very good. Petrozzi's goes to 15 under.
And that's where Nick Poppleton wants to stay. What a salvage job this would be.
Certainly would, Phil. Got to keep it just inside the edge of the hole. Nice sound.
It's very early in a packed season, but I'll tell you what, that's a candidate for up and down of the campaign already.
I would agree with that. Jamie Dick. And he too finds the bottom of the cup and moves to 15 under.
What a start to the round. Bogey-free, 5 birdies on the card, and out in 31 for a 3-shot lead. That's Ashton Turner. The man in command from Petrozzi, Dick and Poppleton got into this game, you know, in rather unconventional manner, as Kit discovered.
Ash, your route into golf was a little bit different to most other people's. Tell us how you took up the game.
Yeah, so for me it all kind of started as physio. Obviously I was diagnosed with ataxia, form of cerebral palsy when I was young. Fortunately it was a mild form. Obviously they can be a lot worse. And so physio was fairly brutal, and so golf was just a way to kind of practice my balance without the strains of that. I enjoyed it straight away. Obviously I had a little plastic set, had that for a couple of years and then started breaking them. So my dad got me a little metal 3 clubs and I used to just go around the chipping area and just loved it, yeah. Obviously started taking it a lot more seriously, probably age 9, 10, somewhere around there, but was really keen from the get-go.
And how do you assess your journey as a pro so far?
It's been slow. It's not been as quick as I would have liked. And so obviously last year put a bit of a halt on things. I started the year well out in Portugal, got a couple of wins under the belt, and then obviously COVID happened, which couldn't be foreseen. But yeah, it's been slow, but hopefully now's the time to kick on.
How important was it for you to treat lockdown as a chance to make yourself a better golfer?
Yeah, it was massive. Obviously it's easy in those circumstances when you haven't got many events to play to lose that motivation. Fortunately for me, that was something that was never an issue. I just used it to try and strengthen myself as a player, as a character, and really put myself in the best stead to come out the blocks quick. when the season did finally start again.
You qualified for the Open in 2018 and 2019. What did you learn from those experiences?
Yeah, they were massive, especially the practice rounds. Being able to see these guys at the top of the game and how they prepare, how good they are in certain areas, and be able to assess my game kind of against that. Yeah. So that was huge, and obviously being able to, I learnt from the first Open at Carnoustie, I probably spent too much time trying to please other people rather than take my Open seriously. I learnt that second time around at Portrush. Obviously made the weekend. Saturday wasn't what I wanted, but again, it was just invaluable experience in kind of the top of the game.
Who were you able to get practice rounds in and play with during the tournament that you learnt most from?
So the first time at Carnoustie, Tyrrell was brilliant. He kind of took me under his wing with the practice rounds and kind of got me playing with Casey, Ross Fisher, etc. So I mean, that's spot on for me. Didn't have to do that. So that was, I've got a lot of respect for him. And then the following year at Portrush, I didn't try and put my name down with anyone. I just kind of put my name down and whoever rocked up I played with. Ended up playing a few with Noren, a few with Koepka as well. So it was a great experience being able to see how they played the course really.
And how much are you looking forward to getting back out and competing this season?
Oh, it's mega. I've been looking forward to it for ages, yeah. Obviously the weather took a turn for the better this week as well, which has been awesome, and just to get out there and 3-round event and kind of get the full feels of a tournament again has been awesome.
And what would it mean to you if you were to get a win this year and get into the top 5?
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Obviously that's the aim, isn't it? The top 5, they're the magic numbers. And so that's the main aim for the year, and to get there would be huge. Yeah, obviously this year I know I spoke to a few of the guys on Challenge, and it's all these COVID tests and stuff. It's an expensive game, and then hopefully kick on this year and next year make the step up, and kind of hopefully the world will be in a bit more of a knowledgeable place about this all.
No doubt, Turner is in charge, but he's being chased by this talented trio as we head to the back 9 of the IFX Championship. Welcome back to the tranquil surroundings of Harleyford Golf Club, set on an estate that dates back to the 12th century. But what about the history of our second round leader, Nick Poppleton?
I actually got into golf when my granddad bought me a set when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I played loads of other sports at that age, and then I actually didn't really start playing and join a club till I was about 11, 12 years old to join the Grange Park, and I was hooked from there on in. And the competition, I really didn't crack it, and I really hated the fact that I could hit so many poor shots, and then the good ones felt exactly the same. So it was more of a frustration, I think, that hooked me. I was a bit of a late bloomer, to be honest. I really didn't get good. I went to college and I was off sort of 1 or 2 handicap. I went to university off scratch and sort of floated about, and then I did my 5 years in education and thought, you know, I'll have a couple of years sort of trying to develop and get better, and then after a couple of years at amateur I got in the England squad, and then I thought after that I'd had a good year in 2018 and thought, yeah, I'd like to have a little crack at it and see sort of if I could you know, pay my way through playing. I wasn't playing so good, and I'd really not found my feet in pro golf that year, and I needed to realise how good they were and how good the level was. So, I mean, every week I developed towards the end of the season, but you could see the scoring, it's like 7, 8, 9 every round, and I wasn't prepared for that. Towards the end of the year, I kind of picked it up and realised what I needed to do to shoot those numbers, and they kind of came slowly, but the year with COVID definitely helped me to learn how to shoot lower scores. To be honest, I didn't really get much done in the first lockdown where we were properly locked down. I haven't had a net or anything. The second lockdown again struggled. The weather conditions were particularly poor. So, I mean, I used to use it as a rest period, and obviously with my partner working in the NHS, we were more worried about her being healthy, and her work's been stressful. So golf has taken a back seat and really given me a sort of an eye-opening, you know, experience, and it taught me some good life lessons that it's, you know, golf's not the be-all and end-all, and I couldn't do the job they do. I mean, she works with children, so I think that's 10 times worse than coming home to, you know, her having a tough day is like literally miles apart from me having a tough day. And I think it gives you perspective, and it teaches you some good sort of life lessons that there's more going on really. When the first one came and the hospital was, they were looking at opening one of the Nightingales in Harrogate, and there was obviously a lot of talk about who would be going up there. And when she, you know, she was like, well, I will go if I need to go. I was like, Jesus, like I couldn't, because you're definitely directly in contact with COVID patients then, and obviously that was early days, and it was really, you know, a serious, you know, 1,000 people dying a day, and I was like, it was obviously quite tough to think, but I was just really proud that she would offer to do that over her other members of staff. Where my golf ball goes now, it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, I've got a good group of people at home. I've got a good support unit. I've got a good dog, so I think I'm quite happy now.
It's been quite a journey for Poppleton, who with a birdie on the 10th improved to a couple under for the day and into a tie for second place. Joining Poppleton on that mark, Gianmarco Petrosi, who made it 3 birdies in succession by slotting home that putt on the 11th. All of that means this. Having been guilty of his first mistake of the day at the 11th, Ashton Turner's 3-shot cushion at the turn has been trimmed to just 1 with 6 holes to play. Now, Ashley Weller tells us about the 13th, where the final 3-ball has arrived.
13th hole at Harleyford, a slight dogleg left to right par 4, measuring 415 yards. Fairway bunker calls them no problems, and if they get a good drive away, they'll just have a short iron into the green. 1 bunker guarding the front of the green, but a good birdie opportunity for these guys, I would say, today.
Thanks, Ash. So, Nick Poppleton, tee shot 13th, lovely look down on him. Lovely attitude listening to him tell us about himself. Enjoyed that, and he'll enjoy this one, I think.
And you can see why scores are so low. The fairways are running, the greens are receptive, the conditions pristine, everything in favour of the players. As Turner tees off on 13, that will work. And working hard is John Morgan down on 14.
Well, you've got to love this hole. This is the 14th, a beautiful par 4, slight dogleg from right to left. I mean, you can see a straight line towards the green, which is over these trees on the left-hand side from where I'm stood. It's 335 yards, par 4. I mean, it's quite easy. You could hit a nice little 5-iron, 4-iron, just plonk it up there on the right-hand side and just little wedge it on. But the carrot is dangled. You get the big dog out and you're going to go for the green. Now, anything slightly right of the green is where you want to be. Anything left can fall away, get down into deep rough, and it's going to be an awkward up and down from there. But while I'm feeling it, I'm thinking, why not hit the big one? Here we go, driver out, aiming just at the right edge of the green, because that's where I want to miss it, if anything. If it draws and goes on, happy days. You can see where I'm aiming, not aiming at the folly, aiming way in left of that. Oh, and that is a ripper. Oh, baby. No way is that there. Tell you what, it ain't far off. Bit into breeze, it couldn't have got there, could it? Surely. Right then, let's do the radio. Juby, my cameraman this is. Are we on, mate? Or am I miles short? Don't let me down.
You're about 15 foot from the hole in the middle of the green.
I think I'll take that. Cheers, Jube. I love you, man.
So Mr. Morgan hasn't lost it as we have a look at Petrosi, the 14th. Beautifully followed through the clouds, and there it is, nicely on the green. That's a super shot. And Kit's across, catching up with Nick Poppleton on 13.
Nick, how important was that up and down on 11 for your momentum?
Which one was 11, sorry?
A couple of holes ago, you just missed short and right.
I've had a couple up and downs on the bounce, which didn't really deserve to do anything. But yeah, well, they're always nice to keep you sort of ticking along in it, to save 1 or 2 here or there. And yeah, it was quite important looking at it. I didn't think Ash was going to move backwards at all, because he's flush as it. And if he wants to pull 2-iron out, he can pull 2-iron out, and it's far as my driver, so I didn't think he would take any steps back. But it might be important, but there's plenty of holes left to play, so you don't know, do you, until we've signed the cards and it's finally done.
Absolutely. How do you feel about your game today?
Not so good, to be honest. But hey, it's just golf, isn't it? Sometimes you come out fighting and sometimes you don't, but just keep ticking along. And like I say, when we talked yesterday, just try and progress throughout the season, you know, so, you know, be all and end all is if you're up there every week, you're under the pressure, eventually you'll find your feet, won't you? So it'll only put you in good stead going forwards.
And what's the key to keep yourself in contention when you don't quite feel you've got your A game?
Short game helps, hole and putts helps, but I think you've just got to keep sticking to what you know you're good at and what you do, and just enjoy yourself. You know, like I say, you could be in a lot worse places to be than on a golf course, so how you play is really a secondary for me, and just move forward from there. Just enjoy yourself, really, because not many people out here do that.
Bang on, absolutely. Keep enjoying it, keep
yeah,
playing
we'll
well.
do, Kit. Take it easy, pal.
Cheers, Nick.
What a great perspective Nick Poppleton has. Now, 13 is a significant number for Ashton Turner. When he was 13 years of age, he broke the course record at his home course, Kenwick Park. Highly unlikely he's going to break the course record here today, but he's in pole position to lift the silverware.
Yep, and now, Nick Poppleton. Can he judge this one right over the top of that bunker and stick it right by the flag? Pretty good effort, nicely judged. Another chance.
It was Tom Weiskopf, one of the great modern-day course designers, as well as being a former Open champion, who said that every golf course should have a risk and reward drivable par 4. Oh, Reese Samson would agree with that assessment after that, although how unlucky it didn't go in for an eagle 2 from sand. That's extraordinary. Defied gravity almost.
Yeah, he could hardly believe it. Now, this putt across the green, down into a little hollow. Should break a fraction from left to right. Which it did, but as you could see, he never got it high enough to start off with.
So Ashton Turner on 17 under. Petrozzi for eagle on 14. This for 18 under and the lead. Not there, but he can't be too perturbed. Another 2-putt birdie for him, it seems.
Now Turner's birdie attempt. Running well, running nicely. Just on the wrong line. Another par under his belt.
Now I was giving Petrozzi this one. Yeah, never really a problem. He's up to 17 under and into a share of the lead. South Korea's Dongwan Kim is joined 4th alongside Samson. Poppleton's just 1 back, with Turner now sharing top spot with the surging Petrozzi. This qualifies as quite a start to the season. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I feel it's exciting. I'm enjoying this very much. Poppleton launching it away off the 14th tee. Just on the fringe of the green. Some cracking shots at this drivable risk and reward. Par 4. Now, what's Turner going to show us?
From one co-leader to the other, Petrozzi is chatting with Kit.
Gianmarco, what's been the key to your good performance so far today?
To be honest, front 9 I was a little bit ropey. I've been in all the wrong places, to be honest, on the front 9, but I've just managed to sort of steady it a bit and find a few fairways and start hitting a few more good shots, and that's been the reason for the, I've made a few around the turn, so So yeah, just hoping to keep hitting fairways and greens, and that's my goal for the last few holes, and try and take the chances when I get them.
When you have made bogey, you've hit back quickly with birdie. How important is that bounce back ability?
Yeah, definitely. When you make, the 2 silly bogeys that I've made, it's good to sort of get it out your head quickly and make a birdie straight after, which I've done well this round. So I'm grateful for that, and like I say, just keep trying to hit fairways and greens and take the chances.
And how good does it feel to be in contention the first event of the season?
Yeah, really good, to be fair. I said it a couple of times yesterday, like, it's been so long since we've played events, and the round yesterday and being in contention today, it just sort of reminds you how much you enjoy playing the game and playing in and competing at this level. So yeah, really good.
Great. Best of luck on the closing stretch.
Thank you very much.
Now Reese Samson's second shot at the 15th, just his second season on the EuroPro Tour, and hoping for a good finish this week to get himself going. And it's another cracking shot.
Now from here you would expect Turner to get up and down. More importantly, he would expect to get up and down. Quite a straightforward shot. And that for him at most is 5 out of 10.
Petrozzi, now with his most lofted wedge, launches it high into the air and nestles it there. Great chance. This is a lovely look here. Just a nice 3/4, hands up to the shoulder, almost just letting the club drop down quite steeply, as you can see from the big divot, but a great result.
Now Poppleton might have learned something from seeing Turner's iffy chip. Indeed he has. Well, that's a stress-free birdie, and he's right there.
Samson's birdie putt. Not a lot of movement in this one. Just about getting the right speed. Here it comes. Here it nearly came.
Frustration. Now back on 14, the best tee shot of the final group. That was struck by Jamie Dick. He's putting for eagle, trying to partially make amends for a very untimely 7 on the 10th. Well, it should be a birdie.
Petrozzi's birdie putt. Yeah, been a couple that way. Again, it just didn't really have the pace to hold it there. He knows that.
And that means Turner has a chance here to regain the outright lead. Much like he's chipped, the putt left something to be desired. So although it's a regulation 4, he will feel he's left one out there. Turner, Petrozzi and now Poppleton are tied at the top, 17 under. And with the short par 4 15th coming up for the final group, another plot twist could be imminent. 15 is tight and strategic, as Ash Weller describes.
15th hole, short par 4 with a very, very narrow tee shot. You'll see a lot of irons being prodded down here. Anything wide, you're going to be blocked out by trees, left and right. Flag front left of the green today. A good tee shot will set up a birdie opportunity.
Yep, I think all our leaders on a hole like this, they'll be hoping, if not expecting, to be able to make a birdie. Poppleton just really all about easing one into play. Very light rough there.
He's walking after that. He likes it. And I'll tell you what, John Morgan likes the 16th. For understandable reasons. It's a cracking hole. Adorned by decorations.
Well, there you have it. One of the most amazing features around this golf course, these wooden sculptures, and you'll see them everywhere. All nature driven, absolutely stunning. Bit like this hole, really. This is 16, a par 3, 192 yards. Really crazy green, this one. For the fact is, it runs from back right to front left. Anything short on right falls down in a couple of little swells. Really difficult up and down from there. But you have this humongous tree down the left-hand side, which hinders pretty much quarter of the green on that left-hand side. So you've got to be able to move the ball quite rapidly from right to left, especially where the pin is today. You can't go over it. It's an absolute beast. So I'm teeing it up on the right-hand side, giving myself the best angle possible, aiming up my man in the distance, filming this baby, and draw it off of that one. 5-iron in hand, and it's a good one at that, I tell you. Keep drawing. That's not bad. Keep drawing. Just at the back of the green. Got a bit of a slick putt coming back now. Good 40-footer, I know that for sure. What a hole.
Certainly is, John, especially this late in the round. Now, what's Gianmarco Petrosi going to do? Sets it out to the right. Definitely got that little bit of draw on it. Bit unlucky to stop so quickly.
Now, as the season progresses, I think we're going to see a lot of Dongwan Kim. He's only 19 years of age. He's from South Korea. 66, bogey-free today. He's reminiscent of Min Kyu Kim, who was a teenager. Won back-to-back events in August 2017, also from South Korea.
Yes, you're right, Phil. He was a good player, as we watch Nick Poppleton clipping one away. Just needed a little bit more of a run out.
Now Turner trying to relight the touch paper. It's all gone a little quiet after that outward half of 31. No better time than right now. Look at the spin on that. Well, Nick Poppleton said it himself earlier in the programme. He flushes it, and Turner really does.
Yeah, certainly does. So this is Jack Ayers, his eagle putt on the 17th. Up and over a little bit of ridge, use the slopes there to bring it down to the hole. Pretty good effort. Should be able to convert that one for a birdie.
Now back to the battle for supremacy. Can Poppleton strike? Always a little weak, always a little low.
So, coming off the fringe, never easy to judge these because they can bobble a bit, which is exactly what that one does, as you could see. So he'll tap that one in and remain as our joint leader.
Indeed, but he might not be holding that status for long because Turner's got this to go back in front. The technique was good, and so was the outcome. 18 under for Ashton Turner. Trying to look cool, but inside he's delighted. Teenager Dongwan Kim lead to the clubhouse. Petrosi and Poppleton are demoted to the role of chief pursuers. But thanks to his 6th birdie of the day, the pendulum swung back again towards a leader restored. And that man is Ashton Turner. Could this be a maiden EuroPro Tour win? The EuroPro Tour is back and packing quite a punch already. Nestled close to the River Thames, Harleyford is the venue for the 2021 curtain raiser and what theatre it's providing. Stepping onto the tee of the tricky par 3 16th, Ashton Turner leads by 1 from a couple of fellow Englishmen, Gianmarco Petrozzi and Nick Poppleton.
Turner's tee shot at this 16th. Looking good, moving it around that big tree and finds the putting surface. Well, they're not completely adjacent. Now Nick Poppleton, can he find the putting green? Certainly can, very similar. Similar birdie putts coming up in a second for us to enjoy.
And Kit is down there.
Turner's speed control on the greens has been really good today, and he's going to need it here on the 16th. He has got all of 50 feet. It's uphill, it's slow. As it gets towards the hole though, it's going to want to move from left to right. We've seen him lag these close all day. One here will be really important.
Well, Kit's told us all about it. Now, what can Ashton Turner do? Difficult putt. All about the pace. My goodness, he certainly, having told us he'd got great pace control, he's blasted that one at it.
17th hole, long straight par 5, and that tree's 300 yards from the tee and can cause problems for the players. No bunkers on this hole, so if a good tee shot can be got away, they can get up to this green in 2. Birdies and eagles might be going on here today. And here's Petrozzi on the left. He's just overdone it. He's in the left rough, but he's still got a shot at the green.
Made contact with that tree. Curtailed follow through, looking anxiously here. Oh, he's flirted with the out of bounds, but he's just about okay. A wash with relief, Gary.
You could see the big sigh there as we jump forward to the 18th, and Jake Ayres trying to finish out with a birdie. And he'll tap that one in just a second.
Previous best EuroPro Tour finish, tied 30th at Camberwell Park. So that is a PB smashed.
Well, let's have a look now. Having had that bit of good fortune, can he capitalise? Not his best. Just didn't hit it far enough to land it firmly on the green.
Now, did Poppleton go to school on that rush of blood from Turner? Yeah, that was definitely a reaction to what we saw before. Much more conservative.
Reese Samson's long effort for an eagle. Probably more realistic for a birdie, but you never know. He's giving it a try. Should be a birdie in a second.
Brooks for par at the last. Oh, that leaves a nasty taste. Loss of cash and order of merit points. At least, though, it was only a bogey. Already this week we've seen 26 double bogeys or worse on this very difficult 18th. It's a sting in the tail here at Harleyford.
Yeah, it certainly is. The 18th is a very, very tough hole. Now, Petrozzi running it back and running it by.
Only a par, but in the air with his second shot, he would have been, I think, more than concerned. Now, Turner. Oh, that really stings. A 3-putt bogey. Terrible timing. Every hole, it seems, brings a significant move one way or the other. We're back to where we were a couple of holes ago, with 3 co-leaders, Petrozzi, Turner and Poppleton, as the 17th comes into sharp focus.
Here we are, at 17, par 5, 509 yards. Ripped it straight down the middle, hit this big beast of a tree in the middle of the fairway, and ricocheted right behind it. And I'm stumped, I really am stumped. Out of bounds down the right-hand side. Pars don't win tournaments, but birdies and eagles definitely do. And this is one of those holes you have to do it. Now, I want you guys to write to @PGA EuroPro Tour on the social medias channels and just tell me what you would do in a situation like this. I got my idea because my natural shot's a big draw, but there's out of bounds down the right-hand side, and that is a place you daren't be. All of a sudden, get ahead of it, it doesn't come back. I think we're staring double in the face. Aim down the left-hand side, you can miss this green down the left. The wind is off the left-hand side as well, so I'm going left of the tree. Right, I'm going with 3-wood because it's going to take a little bit off it being a fade. I think if I was going right, I'd have hit the 2-iron and just busted it and got a bit of turn. But here we go. This is all I got as well. A good 240, 250 yards into the breeze off the left. Oh, he's only hit a cracker, hasn't he? Go on, keep turning, baby. It's straight at the flag. Come on, my son! Oh, mate, that's like a yard short of the green. Bang on line. That was a ripper. Absolute ripper. That's all I got, boys.
Well, after watching Magician Morgan, what can Nick Poppleton do off the tee here at the 17th? He'll certainly be trying not to hit the big tree. Well, I could hear some timber, so I don't know. Lovely big turn. Good weight transfer. Looks a good swing through there. But that tree, I don't know. Leaving trees in the middle of the fairway. No good.
Now Turner, this hole's been kind to him so far. Ooh, unleashing on that one. Taking out a bit of venom from having 3-putted the previous green. That is miles down there. The tree is a non-issue. So what have Gary Allison, President Heisnauer got in common? They both like trees to be removed from fairways.
I think the former president had more chance than me. Petrozzi launching his tee shot away on the 18th. Very nice result.
Poppleton's found a bit of tree trouble down the right of 17, but actually he's gotten away with it. As you can see, he can start it low under these branches or just a touch left with fade. 251 yards to the pin. For these guys, that's maybe a 3-wood or even chase up a long iron, but this is still a really good chance to make his claim for this title.
He's been there or thereabouts before on the EuroPro Tour in 2019. 3rd at Frilford Heath, tied 3rd at Portal. But he wants the title now. Well, now the hole, I suppose, is manageable. Partially stymied.
Yeah, he was. So Turner now, ball, as you can see, quite well above his feet. Just got to be careful that doesn't turn it too far left. Okay. You can see there, it's tricky from here because the natural contours are going to encourage it to go left. Player doesn't want it to go left, so doubtful round. Here we got Reese Samson on the 18th. Come on. Pretty good. Trailing by 1.
And this is a picture-perfect tee shot on the closing hole from Petrozzi. Under pressure, maybe the tempo got slightly quicker than normal. Not happy to pull it, but nevertheless in the heart of the 18th green, never to be sniffed at.
No, I think I'd have been quite happy with that one in his situation. Put the score on the door as we see Poppleton now up out of that hollow. Yeah, pretty good. He's coped with being striking the tree and under that other little sapling.
Now from a similar position on 14, Turner didn't get up and down. And that's similar to what he did on 16. Well past the hole. On 16 it was with a putt, this time it's with a chipping club.
Off the fringe, using the putter, Reese Samson. Yeah, very nicely judged. Tap in there. Just one slight blemish at the second, and a lovely round of 68 for 16 under par.
Now Jamie Dick, if he holds this for eagle, then birdie's the last. Not out of this. It's going to be a case of so close. The galling part for him, taking that double bogey on 10.
Petrozzi got something clinging out of this 18th. Oh, very close. Very close, particularly as the ball bobbled a bit just as it left the putter. Gonna set a target though. Yes, a few lovely Latin actions there from Petrozzi. Taps it in. And again, a couple of stumbles, steady back 9, back in 33, 68, 17 under par, our clubhouse leader.
Now will the putter of Turner prove superior to the chip of Turner? Oh, he wasted a birdie chance on 14, ditto on 17. How expensive will that be? That putt, the birdie putt, was to go in front once more.
Reese Thompson now. This to close out his round with the birdie. And again, after a tough start, bounce back for a round of 70.
Turner missed the chance to go top by birdieing 17. Can Poppleton edge in front? No, he can't. It's all getting rather nervy, Gary.
Yeah, the nerves have been a bit frayed there. Turner with a 3-putt and a couple of dicky chips. And it's tough.
Petrozzi has established the target. Now it's up to Turner and Poppleton to settle the issue by conquering the 18th. That, though, won't be easy, given that by average score, it's played the second toughest hole on the course this week. Basically, we're down to the wire at Harleyford, where Petrozzi, Turner or Poppleton, their names, one of them will be engraved on the trophy. You know, when famed golf course architect Donald Steele expertly designed Harleyford, he reserved the best, the most daunting, for last. It's ideal for the crunch of the IFX Championship. The fate of Gianmarco Petrosi, Ashton Turner and Nick Poppleton will be decided by this tight 446-yard examination that certainly gained the respect of John Morgan.
Well, the last hole here at Harleyford is a 450-yard par 4, strong hole. Dogleg left to right, out of bounds down the right. Big tree lurks again on the fairway down the left-hand side. Tee it up on the right, takes away the out of bounds because you can aim left of it. If you tee it up on the left, kind of face the out of bounds, and that can come into play. The pressure's on. Thank you. And I tell you what, it's an absolute bullet at the tree. Well, I missed this tree. This hole's taken a bit of thinking. It's not an easy baby, this one, I can tell you. You know, the fairway is only 21 yards wide. You know, without a bounds, no more than 20 feet, 30 feet off the right edge of the fairway. So bail out always down the left-hand side, gotta be. It's an absolute cracking last hole. We're gonna see some serious drama coming down the stretch. Now, come on, one good swing. Well, I got it. Got a half decent strike, but it's straight down the right-hand side, and I could imagine that is short and right of the green, but I'll be putting all the way up the green, lots of green to work with, chances of an up and down, you never know, it might just get you the win.
John said it himself, it's tough this hole, especially under excruciating pressure. You can always tell from the body language. He's happy with that, Poppleton. Even though it ran off the fairway and might have gone even deeper into the semi-rough had it not been for making contact with that buggy.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of good fortune. So Ashton Turner favouring the iron to make sure that he keeps it in play. He's leaning, he's looking anxiously at that one. Ooh. Ooh. Phil, there's leaves tumbling. I think that's...
I know what you're going to say. You think that's out of bounds, and we're hearing it is. He's playing his third. Oh, that's so cruel.
Yeah, I think if you just watch these last few holes, though, the pressure has just mounted on Turner, and it's just shown a little, Phil.
Yeah, it's now a two-horse race, and Kit is down with a ball of one of those thoroughbreds.
Poppleton's just on the left edge of the 18th fairway here, and it's a great angle to that pin that's only 5 yards in from the right. It's 153 yards, so you can be aggressive. There's absolutely no wind. If there's ever a time to fire at a flagstick, right now is that time.
First up, Turner has to hold this, Gary.
Yes, he does, and he'll be feeling sick to the stomach on that. Just wants it over and done with, really, once you've knocked it out of bounds on the 18th, when your chance has really gone.
And not just OB with an iron.
Yeah, that, you know, for these top players it hurts even more. So, Poppleton gets a lovely look at it, grasp the metal, and he certainly has. Oh, that's a cracking shot.
You know how quickly things change. Ashton Turner, if he two putts, he's going to drop down into a multiplayer share of 4th place.
Yeah, very costly in both monetary terms and points. And it is sadly going to take him back to 1500, as you say, Phil.
This will be no consolation to him whatsoever, I know that. But the way he's played here suggests it's going to be a big season and there's plenty more opportunities to come.
And this is the opportunity. Nick Poppleton, this putt for the championship. Oof, just didn't break enough. I think when he hit that, I think he would have liked that, don't you, Phil?
Absolutely. Eyed it all the way. High hopes. But we're going to extra holes. And Jamie Dick, who's been playing on this EuroPro Tour since 2015, makes a really good start to the season, bar hole number 10.
So Nick Poppleton taps it in, and we've got some more to come, Phil. Very good round. 69, good score, kept his head. And what's in store for us now?
As the rest of them featuring on this final leaderboard wonder what might have been, especially Turner, it's Petrozzi and Poppleton head-to-head for the title.
54 holes was not enough to separate them, and Nick Poppleton and Gianmarco Petrozzi have headed back to the tough 18th hole. It's a sudden death playoff. Who will seize the chance and win this IFX Championship?
Here's Ash Weller with his thoughts on the 18th, the playoff battleground.
Hole 18, it's all about the tee shot. Get it into position, big dogleg left to right, out of bounds down the right-hand side. Get it into position about here to leave yourself about 130 into the green, but you still got to avoid the big tree in the middle of the fairway. Position off the tee could set up a birdie opportunity.
Well, here we go, Phil. Gianmarco Petrozzi. Yeah, twirl of the club. Tee up quickly. We know it's going to be okay. More than okay. Splits the fairway. Beautiful tee shot. Under the pressure. Now Nick Poppleton. Hopeful of something very similar. He's looking a bit right. He's looking a bit towards the out of bounds. Ooh, dear, dear. I'm afraid that is OB. And I think you could see here is everything is fine to there, and then suddenly as we get to the through the impact, just a little bit late with the release of his wrists, left the club face facing right. Sadly the ball's drifted away and is the wrong side of the white line.
What a difference a couple of yards make. And now Poppleton can really empathise with Turner.
Yeah, and suddenly, you know, when the first one's gone, that was so much better through the ball, so much better release of the wrists and the club head. But it's all very well after the event.
And now Petrozzi has got one hand on the trophy. As for Poppleton, well, if he can get up and down from there for a 5, who knows? This playoff could yet be extended.
Yeah, perfectly possible. He's zipped into it. Not given up yet. Yeah, good shot.
And now something in the same vicinity would be just fine for Petrozzi.
Looks like the tree's in the way, but he can launch this one up and over it. Yeah, lovely shot, nicely controlled, firmly with hands reaching for the trophy, Phil.
Yes, Poppleton, oh, he'll have so many regrets about that tee shot. Petrozzi, his heart will be thumping, so close to a career goal.
So this for his bogey. Not that it's going to make any difference, but sad for him.
And now the man who won the Welsh Open Amateur Championship in 2017 and the New South Wales Amateur Down Under in 2018 is surely about to win here. 3 for it. Gary, the luxury.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling when you've got 2, and to actually have 3 for it. The nerves have completely gone. And thank you very much.
A great tournament that ends in anticlimax because of the out of bounds off the tee for Poppleton. But I'll tell you what, Petrozzi is not complaining in the slightest.
Jan, congratulations. You've won the IFX Championship. How do you feel?
Yeah, unbelievable. yeah, lost for words really. Obviously, yeah, it's been such a long time off, and to come back and win the first EuroPro, it's unbelievable.
How aware were you of where you stood throughout the day?
Not aware at all. I'm not someone who likes to look at leaderboards. You know, I just feel that as though no matter what information I have, like I'm always trying to do my best anyway. So I just wanted to focus on, like I said to you on 15, like hitting fairways, hitting greens, and just, you know, trying to take the chances that I had. And yeah, luckily it was enough.
And after what has been a tough 18 months for everybody, how well does this set you up for the rest of 2021?
Yeah, really good, to be fair. I just want to, yeah, I mean, I know I've only just done it, but, you know, keep momentum and keep going. Like, you know, I've got sort of high aspirations in the game, so yeah, I just want to keep the momentum and keep rolling.
Gianmarco Petrozzi collects £12,500, jumps straight into top spot on the Order of Merit, and experiences the thrill of victory on the EuroPro Tour. Until next time, and the Jessie May World Snooker Golf Championship at Donington Grove, it's goodbye.